welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, September 12, 2018. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The Ministry of Tourism and the SVG Tourism Authority are seeking to attract more visitors from London and other European capitals to SVG as talks continue to initiate direct flights to SVG. However, Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glenn Beach, said at a news conference today that the challenge of accommodation remains an issue. Beach, who headed a team to a recent roadshow in the UK, said operations at the Buckermont Bay Resort is integral in selling the package to overseas tour operators and airlines.
For some of those out of the UK, in their opinion, we don't have enough rooms to really push the tours as yet. That, as you know, that is something that's being corrected. Hopefully Buckermont will come back on stream sooner rather than later. Buckermont, not going to lie to you, plays an important role in terms of our negotiations with these airlines.
Beach said they are having talks with Virgin Atlantic Airlines and British Airways with the view to have them operate direct flights to the Argyle International Airport. He said based on the progress of the negotiations, he is optimistic that one will soon commence flights.
Obviously, the two airlines that we're looking at are Virgin and BA. We continue to speak to them. It is a challenge because they operate differently to those out of North America. I met with some of the diaspora in the UK while I was there right after the roadshow to explain to them the process. Some understood, some did not. It's not as simple as saying, okay, I would like you to come, and they come. It's all about the bottom line. St. Vincent and the Grenadines never had a history of international flights before, so it's not to say you can go off of the numbers, so to speak. What they're asking for in terms of the financial return, in my opinion, is a bit much. So I think we will get them. I don't have any doubt about that. Which one, I cannot say. We will get one of them to fly directly into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's just going to take a bit more time than what we did out of North America.
The Tourism Authority CEO reported that SVG has seen an increase in visitor arrivals, which is primarily due to the increase in flights at the AIA. He saw the recent roadshow in the UK as a success as more persons were made aware of what SVG has to offer.
We did 4 roadshows in 4 cities in 5 days in the UK. We did London, Brighton, Birmingham and Chester, so it was quite hectic. Some of the drives over 4 hours long to get to another city. Quite hectic, but judging from the response we have received, I think it was successful. These roadshows basically are not only just about the destination, but mainly about the stakeholders, the hoteliers, in selling their product, so that tour operators have some sort of incentive to sell their product and also sell the destination. In terms of participation from tour operators and tour guides, in London we had 34 participants, in Brighton 25, Birmingham 39, and in Chester 40.
Meanwhile, Beach is calling on residents here to take pride in the country and change the look of capital Kingstown. He feels that businesses can take the lead to give their buildings a facelift, and vendors should consider the cleanliness of the environment within which they operate. Beach voiced his concern at today's press conference as he spoke of the projected increase of visitors to SVG.
And you know, you have to be careful when you say certain things, because if you speak about the vendors, then everybody says you're trying to take money out of people's mouth, and it's not that. You have to look at the bigger picture in terms of what is taking place. And if we lose the cruise lines, then the same vendors have nobody to buy from except if it's Vincentians, which is not what you want. I can tell you, I mean, some of it in terms of the state of Kingstown is the vendors and some of the vagrants, obviously. Some of it also are businesses putting a fresh coat of paint on their building. Some of them haven't been painted for God knows how long, right? So we complain about certain things, but we don't look in the mirror. And when I say that, I'm talking about all of us. So I'm not pointing out, I'm talking, including myself.
Beach identified littering as a major problem, noting that Vincentians have to improve their standards if they are to be tourist ready.
It's like if we've now hit the international scene. A lot of times, investors come looking for us now instead of us going to look for them. And we have to make sure we're at the top of our game. And Kingstown has much to be desired. And that's my personal view. We need to clean it up. And I'm not talking about cleaning it up because we have a cruise ship season coming up. I'm not talking about cleaning it up because we have visitors coming into. We have to clean it up for our own well-being and our own.
Beach said there was a 48% increase in overall visitor arrivals this year when compared to last year. However, the authority reported a 17.3% decrease in same-day arrivals. The constituency of North Windward continues to develop thanks to the existence of the Euromate-Taiwan Friendship Bridge at Rabaka. That's the conclusion of Montgomery Daniel, area representative, as he spoke at a ceremony on Tuesday to commend the work done by the Taiwanese in renovating the bridge. The road link was officially opened in 2007, thus providing easier access to areas north of the Dry River. Daniel said prior to its construction, residents living in communities above the river found it difficult to get out of North Windward, but the bridge has facilitated a transformation of the transport system for residents above the Dry River.
And anyhow you miss any of those legs, you have to stay until the next day or prepare to walk to Kingstown. But today, we have seen a revolutionizing of the transportation system in this area. One can wake up on mornings now at 10 o'clock, and by 12 o'clock, he or she is in Kingstown to do business. What is much more intriguing is that I've seen individuals leaving this area 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on evenings. I'm going to Kingstown to buy some Kentucky to come back for my supper. How far have we moved?
Daniel said the bridge also facilitates greater use of tourism sites and was heartened at the interest shown by various business entities who want to invest in North Windward. And these possible developments would not be possible without the bridge.
Believe you me, when I heard of the number of companies that now want to come to this constituency to begin commercial business, I'm heartened. If the bridge was not there, there's no way we would have been having these offers. As a matter of fact, my understanding too is that there are a number of requests for land for the development of hotel in this area. We welcome all of such developments. I can say to you, this constituency is moving on.
Meanwhile, the ambassador of Taiwan to SVG, Calvin Ho, said the bridge is a testament to the close friendship between SVG and Taiwan. Ambassador Ho also thanked OECC, a private Taiwanese company, for renovating the handrails, noting that it enhances the safety of all who have to use the bridge.
I also like to take this opportunity to thank the Vincentian government because with your support, especially the Ministry of Transportation, because we could be very creative what kind of handrails we want, what kind of plaques we want to settle it. So they gave us a very, very good advice so that when I come here first time to see the handrails and the plaques, I think it's very, very beautiful. So in conclusion, I want to say this occasion to me, I'm really happy to see that we can be a part to join you to complete the two sides of the handrail so that local people here, when they walk across the street as pedestrians, they can walk safely.
Remain teacher-focused. That's the advice given by Otto Sam, former Industrial Relations Officer of the SVG Teachers Union, as he shared with SVG-TV News the reasons for his resignation from the position. Sam said he wants to spend more time with his family and God. The former president of the union said there was no bad blood between him and the union when he resigned in March of this year. He said the union's role is to fight for its members and encouraged the executive to do just that.
The mission of the union is to represent workers. So put teachers' interests first, drop all the side shows, all the personal interests, personal what have you, and focus on teachers' issues. There are still issues of appointments to be addressed. There are still outstanding issues of teachers who have never been appointed that should be tested in the court. So any executive ought to use its energy to focus on the teacher-related concerns. You know, the focus must be teacher-related.
Sam shared with SVG-TV News some of the accomplishments he said the union achieved during his tenure as president and later as industrial relations officer.
Well, as a former leader, as a former president, really, our executive negotiated the whole reclassification of teachers and the public service. We had the last collective agreement was signed under our watch in 2005, 2007. In 2005, so that should have expired in 2007. There has not been a new collective agreement. We had a number of new categories of teachers, you know, created, but in the 2 years contract that I did in terms of the industrial relations officer, we again as a union, advocacy was at a particular height. We got the graduate teachers in excess of 100 to be appointed. The government has pushed them forced to act in that way. We also have the special ed teachers in Georgetown starting getting their full duty allowance, $1,000 annually.
A male teenager of Chumaka is now in police custody, assisting with investigations into a report of assault against a 32-year-old female at Indian Bay on Tuesday. The police said during the investigations they acquired footage from a video that was being circulated on Facebook showing a female being attacked by a male. That's a male assailant at Indian Bay. Terrano Samuel, 18 years old, was taken into custody and is assisting the police with their investigations into the matter. Acting Commissioner of Police Colin John thanked the public for providing information that led to Samuel's arrest. The top cop also thanked the officers attached to the Rapid Response Unit and those stationed at the Caliacqua and Chateaubriand police stations for their prompt response in effecting Samuel's arrest. Meanwhile, the police say they are investigating several recent reports of burglary at various private properties. A police report states that at about 6:45 p.m. at Gun Hill, New Montrose, two armed unknown masked men attacked and burglarized the home of a 56-year-old laborer and stole a quantity of items valued at just over 1,000 Canadian dollars. In the process of carrying out the offense, the assailants reportedly wounded the complainant by striking him on the head with a gun. The police say they are also investigating a report of burglary made by a 32-year-old carpenter of Belmont, which occurred on Monday, September 10th by some unknown person or persons. According to reports, between 2:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. at Belmont, the assailants entered the dwelling house of the complainant and stole a quantity of items valued at 2,450 EC dollars. The police are also investigating a report by a 51-year-old domestic of New Prospect of burglary and damage to property by some unknown person or persons. According to reports, between 8 p.m. Wednesday and 9:45 a.m. on Sunday, September 9th at New Prospect, the assailants entered the property of the Rivers of Life Wesleyan Holiness Church as trespassers and stole a quantity of items valued at 300 EC dollars. In the process of carrying out the offense, the assailants reportedly broke a 4x4 aluminum glass window valued at 375 EC dollars. Workers in Canouan are calling for government's intervention as they protested this afternoon over apparent plans by the developers to cut jobs. The workers are also protesting over the relocation of the privately run preschool and primary school on the site used as a playing field without consultation. Community activist Terry Bino explains further.
What is really happening in Canouan is that there is a situation where Desmond Dermott, who owns the marina, and Andre Pignataro, who owns the resort in the north. The resort in the north had a school, a private school at the marina entrance when they were the owner of that land as well, before it changed hands to Desmond in a court matter in England. Desmond wants to continue the project, but the school has to be removed. And he has made some offers to Mr. Pignataro of a couple of his villas in the north that they can put the 20-something children temporary while Mr. Pignataro builds the school complex that he's going to build in the village, in our community. Or they started that today. So they seems to want to keep the children at the marina land while they construct the school in the community. So Desmond, who wants to continue the project, need that area, and he's saying, no, if he can't have the area, he will have no choice but to shut the project down, and so on. So that is what really happened today. So these men were notified today that they would be laid off. The project will probably come to a halt. So that is why these men come out today protesting in front of the administrative building in Canouan, asking the government to be a mediator between both parties so that they can settle the matter outside the court and go to court and withdraw the injunction of the court matter that is there between both of them, so that both projects could continue in harmony. And mind you, I was asked by the guys what they think they should do, and I say let's target the government. Let's not protest at the school in the marina. Let's not protest at the gate at the resort. Let us protest at the administrative building to draw the attention of the government, because we're talking of hundreds of workers here who have families in mainland St. Vincent. So this is the situation in Canouan, and they advise that they will continue tomorrow and the next day until the government apparently do something to the situation.